right, we've got number 1 Jig and Pig versus number 4 Shad Rap. Jig and Pig, this one goes back a long ways for me too. A slow down bait, colder water, shines around some structure, bounce it around, some stumps or some laydowns. Really had a good time with it back rowing around the strip mines, and still do on occasion. Used to fish a farm pond, Instrum's Pond, that really produced some monsters off of a beaver lodge, another place where this bait can really shine. Also got the pork there too. I like the pork. It's old school as opposed to some of the plastic trailers that you see nowadays. These old Uncle Josh pork frogs have been around for a long time, and it makes me think of something they introduced way back when called the Porco too. It was kind of almost a plastic worm of pork, so to speak. As far as the Shad Rap goes, this one goes way back too, back to the floating minnow days of the Rapala manufacturing line. This thing is very sleek, shines in cold water. It's caught a number of early season bass for me and late season bass for me. In this case, though, for the reason that the bigger bass and some other crankbaits that I usually rely on more so once the water warms up, it's going to be the Jig and Pig moves on. Next up, we got the KVD Square Bill at number 3 versus the Booyah Buzzbait at number 2. This Square Bill takes you back to the old Rick Clunn endorsed Pose model crankbaits that had what was called a coffin lip that was supposed to make it deflect off a wood and structure and climb over that stuff rather than getting stuck and really entice the bass. Instead of catching a tree or catching a rock pile, you're going to get a bass. I've also caught some muskies on this one too. In fact, the biggest muskie I ever had hooked swam away with one of these in his mouth, got him right up boat side, and wasn't meant to be, and he broke off. The buzzbait takes me back to a bait I used to fish in the 80s called Uncle Buck's Buzzer. It was an inline buzzer, but it sure turned me on to the allure of topwater fishing. This thing is my go-to buzzbait now from Booyah. I throw this thing till my arms get tired, even when I shouldn't be throwing it. But I tell you what, you get a couple of them big bites, and that'll really ruin you, so to speak. And then I'll throw it all day just looking for that one bite. And when it comes, boys, sometimes it is a whopper. So for that reason, so long as the daylight fades to the KVD Square Bill, we're sticking with the Booyah Buzzbait.